Alright folks, so today on the channel we are going to be back on the Xbox Series S, and today we are going to be installing the DuckStation UWP standalone PlayStation Emulator app. So the first thing you're going to need to do is have developer mode installed on your Xbox, and if you haven't already done that, you can check out this video here, which will walk you through all of the steps to get that set up. Once you have that set up, we're going to head over to the DuckStation GitHub page, select latest development build, and we're going to scroll down until we see DuckStation UWP APPX, which is right here, and we'll click on that just to download it. Once that's done downloading, shouldn't take too long, I'm going to head over to the file location, so mine's just in my downloads, and we're going to extract that file to our desktop. Once that's done extracting, we're going to head over to the Xbox device portal, and on the Home tab, we're going to click Add under My Games and Apps. And what this is going to do is install the DuckStation app onto your Xbox. Then we'll click Choose File. Select the DuckStation app and click Open. Then hit Next. And start. And once that's done installing, you'll see DuckStation at the bottom of the installed apps list. Pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to be running my games on DuckStation through a USB flash drive, since PlayStation 1 games are a little bit smaller and shouldn't have any issues running from an external drive. So next we're going to get that flash drive set up. So opening up the flash drive itself, we're just going to create a couple of folders here. The first one we're going to call Games. The next one is going to be called Saves. And then I'm going to actually save all my BIOS files on this flash drive as well. So I'm going to create a folder named BIOS Files. Next, we're going to add the game files into the games folder. And you'll see here I've got a folder named PS1. And inside there we have 3 different game files. And because I'm going to be using this flash drive for different systems when I get RetroArch set up, I'm going to keep all the PlayStation 1 games in a subfolder named PS1. So I'm just going to grab this folder and drag it into the games folder there. Next, we're going to add our BIOS files. So exactly the same process as with the games. And that's everything we need to do on the flash drive. Now, if you did want to save all your games and files on the internal SSD of your Xbox, you can actually do that by accessing your Xbox file share, going into your Windows Apps folder, locating the DuckStation installation, which in this case is the file right at the top. Opening that folder, and within this folder is where you would create your games, saves, and BIOS files folder. Again, I'm just choosing to keep mine on a flash drive just to save space on my internal SSD. So once you've got the folder structure set up, we're going to head over to the Xbox, and obviously you'll see here we are on the development dashboard. If you are using a USB flash drive, the first time you plug it in, you'll get prompted to format the drive. And in this case, since we're not going to be storing retail games on it, we're going to select Use for Media. Just click that button, and you'll see the prompt there that says the media storage is ready. Next, we've just got one setting that we need to change within DuckStation itself. So we're going to scroll down to the DuckStation app. Hit the Select button to launch the menu, and then select View Details. And then we're going to change the app designation from App to Game. Then we just click the B button to return to the main menu. Now, since we made that change to the app designation, we're just going to do a quick restart. So scroll up to Restart Console. And click Restart Now. Alright, so now your console's rebooted. We can launch DuckStation itself. So we'll just scroll down and click the A button to launch. And here we are on the main menu for DuckStation. So before we can get going playing some games, we're actually going to have to change a couple of settings. So we'll scroll down to Settings and press A. And right here, you'll see all of the different settings that DuckStation offers. So across the top of the screen, you'll see some little icons. Each one of these is a different series of settings. So first of all, we're going to scroll across to the BIOS settings. using the right and left bumpers. And we're going to set the location for the PlayStation BIOS files. So to do that, scroll down to BIOS directory and hit A. Scroll down to parent directory and hit A to move up in the directory tree. And as you do that, you'll see your file path is moving up towards the main directory. And then you'll finally come to the main directory. Obviously here you can see there's 3 different drives, S, Q, and E. The E drive is the flash drive where all of my files are stored. So I'm going to select that. And once you open that folder, you can see all of the folders that we just created. So we're going to scroll down and select BIOS files, PS1, and then we're going to scroll up and click A on Use This Directory. Once you've done that, you can just hit B and it will take us back to the main BIOS selection page. And then we're going to set a BIOS for each of the different regions of console. So I have 3 BIOS files that are in that folder, one for NTSC-J, which is Japanese, NTSC-U, which is US, and one for PAL, which is the European region. So I'm going to scroll up to the BIOS for NTSC-J option and click A on that. And then for that one, we're going to use scph5500.bin. So scroll down and click A. For the NTSC-U BIOS, we're going to use the scph5501.bin. So again, just scroll down and click A. And then finally for the PAL BIOS, we're going to use the scph5502.bin. So again, just scroll down and select that with A. Okay, so now all the BIOS are set. We're going to use the left bumper to navigate to the games list settings. And we're just going to set the location for where our games directory is. So we'll select Add Search Directory, the same as we did with our BIOS. Scroll down to Parent Directory and hit A until we get to the main directory with all our drives. Again, scroll down and select E. Scroll down to Games and press A. And then once again, scroll down and select PS1 and hit A again. Once you've done that, just scroll down and hit A to select Use This Directory. Once you've selected your directory location, you can hit B to return to the main menu. And back on the main menu, we're just going to scroll down to Open Game List just to check that the games have pulled in correctly. Okay, perfect. So next we're going to scroll back down to the Settings options. And we're going to use the right bumper to head over to the Hotkey Settings. Now, you can change your settings any which way you want. The only thing that I really wanted to change was the Open Quick Menu button hotkey. So in order to do that, select the hotkey that you want to change, hit the A button, and then hit whatever button you want to be that hotkey. So in my case, I'm changing the hotkey to open the quick menu to the R3 button, which I just think is a bit more convenient. Okay, so now with the Open Quick Menu button hotkey set, we're going to scroll again using the right bumpers over to the memory card settings. And you have a couple different options here. So you can set the memory card up to be just a single memory card per game, or you can do a shared memory card. And you can set up a virtual memory card for slot 2 as well. So I'm going to be using a separate memory card per game for memory card 1. And I'm going to have a shared between all games memory card in slot 2. Then we're going to scroll down to memory card directory. And just like we did before when we set up the BIOS and the game directories, we're just going to hit A on the parent directory until we get to the main drive paths. We're going to select the E drive and the saves folder. Select Use This Directory. And we're all done. And next we're going to head over to the enhancement settings. And I'm not going to do anything too fancy on this. There's just a couple changes that I'm going to make. But obviously you can have a play around with this and set these enhancement settings up any which way you like, just so you get the perfect output for you. So the main setting that I wanted to get changed here was the internal resolution scale. So I'm going to scroll down to that, hit the A button, and then I'm going to scroll down to 5 times. So what that'll do is output all games at 1080p, which is perfect for what I'm going to be using this for. Okay, so that's all your basic settings. And like I said, there are a ton of different things you can do in here. So definitely take a little bit of time, play around, and see what settings work best for you. But next we're going to hit the B button, go back to the main menu, and we'll check out some games. So from the main menu, we're going to scroll down to the Open Games list. And I think we're going to try Ridge Racer, since it was the first PlayStation game I ever played. So all we need to do is press the A button on the game title, and you'll see the game will start compiling, and then a couple of seconds later, you'll see a very familiar screen with the PlayStation boot sequence. You'll also see there as the boot sequence runs, DuckStation setting up memory cards and also checking the controller settings. So in this case, being a launch PS1 game, it only supports a standard digital controller. So here we are in Ridge Racer, and it's been a long time since I've played the original, so I don't feel like I'm going to do very well, but graphically, obviously, the game looks actually really impressive. The 1080p scaling is working like a charm. You can see that it's running at full speed and looks exactly as I would expect it to look. There's no clipping, the audio sounds great, exactly as I would expect. Very, very cool. So that's the quick installation and setup guide for the DuckStation UWP standalone app for the Xbox Series S and X. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please drop us a like and also consider subscribing. It's really helping the channel grow. And also, don't forget to check us out on Twitter. Thanks for watching.